10L Sports Central will be going over an NFL game preview and prediction over the Week 3 matchup between the Cowboys and the Seahawks. And both these teams are looking really good heading into Week 3 of this 2020 season. You got the Cowboys on one hand that just beat up the Atlanta Falcons on the road in a huge comeback win. And then you got the Seahawks on the other hand, of course, beating off the Patriots last week. So all around, both teams are looking really good heading into Week 3. So it should be a fun matchup that could have some big NFC implications moving forward. So it's a very important game for both teams. But today we're going to be going over a full preview and prediction, starting out with your team trends. And of course, last week the Dallas Cowboys beat off Atlanta 40-39. And that was a big matchup there. That was crazy. We saw the Falcons up 20-0 at one point, and it looked like they were just going to run away with it. But the Cowboys came back in the second half and had a huge win there, a very tough earned win. And then we also saw the Seahawks beat off the New England Patriots 35-30 at home on Sunday night last week, which was a very good win for that team. I mean, the Patriots looked really good last Sunday. So, I mean, all around, that was a great win for the Seahawks. As far as their winning streaks go, of course, once again, the Cowboys sitting at 1-1. Currently have a one-game winning streak. They dropped their Week 1 matchup to the Rams. And then the Seahawks are currently undefeated at 2-0. They've got a two-game winning streak going, obviously, right now. Games will be on Sunday, September 27th at 4:25 p.m. Eastern in Seattle. Spread currently sets Seahawks by 4.5. ESPN FPI also has the Seahawks 61%. And Vegas is actually expecting a close one between both these teams, 20-25, the Seahawks winning. So all three of our predictions here do have the Seahawks winning this game with, of course, having Seattle at home in this one. That could be a big factor there. But I think the Seahawks all around are a great team in or out of Century League Field. So, all around, it's going to be a fun matchup between both these teams. Should be a close one. The spread's currently saying Seattle by 4.5. As far as it goes for your stat comparison, these are your previous game stats. As for the Cowboys, you got Dak Prescott, who was 34 for 47, 450 yards in their win against the Falcons and 1 touchdown. So he actually had a very impressive performance. They didn't even throw an interception against the Falcons, and they still got down by 20-0 at one point. They also had running back Ezekiel Elliott, who ran 22 times for 89 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb had 6 receptions for 106 yards. Amari Cooper had 6 receptions for 100 yards. And then, of course, Dalton Schultz kind of came out of nowhere and had a great day, 9 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. As far as it goes for Seattle, though, you have Russell Wilson, 21 for 28, 288 yards, 5 touchdowns. He actually threw a whole 5 touchdowns in their win against the Patriots, along with 1 interception. So all around a great week last week for both of these quarterbacks. You also got Chris Carson at running back, 17 attempts for 72 yards. DK Metcalf at receiver, 4 receptions, 92 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 7 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown. And then David Moore had 3 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown as well. So, both teams, especially both offenses, are looking really good heading into this matchup. Some key points. Cowboys had a huge comeback in Week 2, obviously. The Falcons are kind of known for blowing leads at this point. The Falcons easily should have won that game. They're up 20-0 at one point. And I think I don't even think 20 was the smallest lead that there was for the Falcons. So, yeah, that team definitely needs to get things figured out. But the Cowboys looked pretty good when they were coming back in the second half, that is for sure. Dak Prescott, once again, throwing 450 yards is very impressive. Seattle played great, though, against New England last week, and that's very obvious. The Patriots had a great game with Cam Newton at quarterback. Cam Newton had one of the best games of his entire career against the Seahawks, and they still could not win. The Seahawks played great against that New England team. And then Russell Wilson has been playing as well as he ever has, and I kind of was thinking about this last week. He's playing extremely well right now. He's got a great rhythm going, and if he can continue this throughout the season, the Seahawks are a legit Super Bowl contender this season. They easily could win another Super Bowl this upcoming season. There's no doubt about that. Russell Wilson is playing extremely well. Chris Carson's also having a great season at running back, so that's going to be very helpful. And the receiving core is also pretty experienced now. It's good to have DK Metcalf with a year of experience for sure. But the Cowboys, they just cannot make mistakes in this game. For the Seahawks, if the Cowboys throw 2 interceptions or if Dak Prescott throws 2 picks, I think that's kind of the game for the Cowboys. They cannot be they cannot be committing turnovers in this game. That's going to be extremely detrimental to them because, the Seahawks are going to capitalize on that every time. They're as good of a team as really anyone in the NFL right now, so you can't forget about that. This Cowboys team is going to have to play extremely well if they're going to win against the Seahawks. And that kind of goes vice versa as well. The Cowboys the Cowboys are a good team as well. They did lose Week 1 to the Rams, but all around, this Cowboys team definitely is still, I'd say, a top half team in the NFL. So, Yeah, you can't get it out then in the end. I mean, it's going to be a tough game for the Seahawks. It will not be a walk in the park by any means. And I don't expect it to be for either of these teams. I think we see a pretty close game here. Your halftime score is going to be 21-13. Seahawks will be leading. But in the final, Seahawks are going to get the win 35-27. They're going to win this one by 8. I've got the Seahawks by just over a touchdown. But all around, it's going to be a very close matchup throughout the entire thing. I do think we see the Seahawks lead for pretty much the entire game, though. Like, I don't really see the Cowboys leading really at all in this game, except for probably the start. But all around, yeah, once again, should be a great matchup between both these teams. Both teams are pretty equally matched. I mean, the Cowboys obviously have already taken a loss, but the Seahawks, they're on a roll right now. So this is a very important game for them to keep their momentum rolling throughout the season, because honestly, like, yeah, the Seahawks are a legit Super Bowl contender right now. I mean, they're obviously going to make it to the playoffs. It's just a matter of how far they can get in the playoffs. So it's going to be a very important game in determining what kind of Seahawks team that we're going to see this season. But yeah, in the final, 35-27 is going to be your final score. I do think we see a moderate to a high-scoring game in NFL terms here in this one with the Seahawks and the Cowboys. With that being said, that wraps up my preview on this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this one. If you enjoyed this preview, be sure to slap a like on it, subscribe as well. Really helps out the channel. I really appreciate that. But as always, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I will see you all later.